Welcome to another explosive edition of P&B Sports Show. I'm Abel Sunday. The race to the knockout stage at the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations has reached another thrilling milestone. Group D wrapped up in dramatic fashion as Cameroon held Cape Verde to a 1-1 draw, while Ghana and Mali also shared the point in another 1-1 encounter. The result means the indomitable Lioness of Cameroon finished top of the group with 7 points, while the Black Queens of Ghana secured the second qualification spot with 4 points. Cape Verde and Mali bow out after competitive campaign. Joining me to break down the decisive Group D action, analyze the standout performances, and look ahead to the knockout stage is our guest from the ancient city of Benin, the Abracadabra of sport, Attribution. There's plenty to talk about. So grab your teacup because P&B Sport start now. No gimmickments, no distractions, just pure unfiltered sport action.
Diogo Dallo, he pulls the ball then. That is outstanding!
Make the P&B Sport Show part of your weekday routine.
Philogene in the penalty area, twisting and turning. He tries to flick it towards goal.
Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. Make the P&B Sport Show part of your weekday routine.
Into Osimhen.
30 minutes of breaking headlines, in-depth analysis, match preview, and the stories every sport fan needs to know. And when Saturday arrives, we take things to another level. Get ready for balls of fire every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. One explosive hour of fearless opinion, heated debate, and non-stop football conversation. Weekdays at 9 a.m., Saturdays at 1 p.m. Stay ahead of the... No gimmickments, no distractions, just pure unfiltered sport action. Welcome back. It's the P&B Sports Show reaching live from the nation's capital. And I've been joined by the Abracadabra of sport. They call him that because he brings magic to sport analysis. Eru John, all the way from the ancient city of Benin. Eru, good morning. Edo is always shining.
Good morning, Mr. Abel. It's a pleasure to be with you on the show once again. Edo is shining as always.
Eru, it's like this your new Chelsea jersey. I think Xabi Alonso, you guys are putting hopes and faith on Xabi Alonso. Probably he might bring the league title to Stamford Bridge this time around.
I have faith. He particularly does not have any excuse, being that we are not playing in it.
Yeah.
United of last season, we have enough time in our hands. One game a week.
But yeah, just like what happened to United, like you rightly said. But because of you, I think I'm going to get one Chelsea jersey so that anytime. Just. But the only time
you'll be able to get the average.
the only time I'm going to wear it is when you will win. Anytime you will win, I wear it. But when it comes to the negative side, I think I'll just stay on my own and stay with my darling Super Eagles. Yes. But anytime you win, I'm going to wear it because of you. Because of you this season.
You are welcome.
And let's dive into the conversation. We saw the last group game yesterday, Group D, and then we saw 1-1 draw. Cape Verde also surprised everybody. These are first time they are debutant also in this championship. They drew with Cameroon also 1-1. But did Cameroon tie this time? Does it? Can we say is a whole lot for the Super Eagles to look at? Because if Cape Verde can draw with Cameroon 1-1, and they are playing the Super Eagles at the I beg your pardon, the Super Falcons at the quarterfinals of this championship. Do you think Justin Madugu should be celebrating now? Like, okay, if Cape Verde can even score against the indomitable Lioness of Cameroon, of course, Super Eagles should be able to blaze those things. Let me get your thought on that.
I think for me, I think we actually have to worry. We have a lot to do. John Madugu needs to tighten his seatbelt because I particularly think that Cameroon did not give the game their all because however the results went, they already qualified. As at the second game, it was already stated that they qualified for the quarterfinals. As a matter of fact, they were already even drawn against Nigeria.
Mm.
You can understand that. So, regardless of whatever happened yesterday, they were going to go through. So, I think we, as a nation, we have a lot of work to do. Going by their descent form, they are still unbeaten. Even with the draw yesterday, they won their first two games and they drew the last one yesterday against Cape Verde. Kudos to Cape Verde being debutants, and that was the draw yesterday was the only point they got from the group. I believe they wanted to leave with a statement. They were playing as wounded lions. They had nothing to fight for, but they needed to sabotage a lot of things. The game yesterday for me was just to fulfill all righteousness, because Cape Verde was arguably out of the competition already. Cameroon was already qualified. So it was just a game of let's play it, let's pass time. And you understand? So, but for us, we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. We have a strong hurdle to cross, because this Cameroon, if you look at them very well, they scored four, they conceded two in the course of these group standings. The only shooting thing for me there is, I haven't checked their games. They don't score so many goals.
Mm.
Yeah, they don't score so many goals. But there's a very spectacular thing about them. They are very compact. They don't concede so many. Also, they conceded just two goals in the entire group stage encounter in the three games. So and for us, who are a team that we have not been able to fix our defensive problem, I think John Madugu has to look into that, so that they don't begin their festival of goals with the Super Falcons. You understand? They don't begin to, let me speak PG, may they not use us get their top form in terms of scoring goals. Because in this group, they've not scored so many, and they have also not conceded so many. That's a very balanced equation. I can tell you for a fact. That's a balanced equation. So the hurdle is on us as one defending champions, two as a team that has conceded so many goals in this group stage.
We've considered five. We've considered five already in group stage. We've considered five, yeah.
And we are going to play against the team that has considered just two.
Mm.
So you see that we need to fix ourselves. We need to fix our problems, so that these people do not capitalize on that. But if we're able to fix our defensive problem, I think we can actually eliminate Cameroon.
Yeah. But looking at the Cape Verdeans, I think with all honesty, I think they've done so well with their first one, like you rightly said, this is their first ever point getting against a powerhouse like Indomitable Lioness of Cameroon, getting 1-1, getting a point from that game. And when they go back home, do you think it's something that they can look at and build on in subsequent WAFCON tournament?
Yes, of course. There are always lessons to take from every defeat or whatever, however any game goes. It's something they can certainly go back home to build on. And this is the statement. This is the entry for them. Like we have established their debutants, and the entire Cape Verde Island as a country, I think, will actually go back to improve on their sport. I think the government and the authorities will actually go back to work on the sports that they play, because both the male and female team, they've actually impressed to a certain level. The male team really impressed at the World Cup, getting to the round of 32 in their first outing. Yes, being eliminated by Argentina, who eventually played the final. And then the female team also, though they've been eliminated from the group stage, but then again, is something you should jubilate. Being debutants, Cape Verde is just a small island, a country that is not so much, doesn't have so much football heritage and football pedigree. Having to give this kind of outing is a green light in quotes. It's something that can be built upon, and then in subsequent editions, in forthcoming competitions, they can actually improve. This was the recognition that Morocco has today. Imagine Morocco hosting WAFCON back to back. The recognition that Morocco has begun. At a time, Morocco also was not in the grand scheme of things when you talk about football in Africa. At the time, when you want to talk about both male and female football in Africa, you call the likes of Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, South Africa, and Cote d'Ivoire. You don't mention Egypt. Even the likes of, at the time, the likes of Tanzania and Tunisia, they were way higher than Morocco on the rankings. You see, so they were top African team, even in FIFA rankings in the world. You see the exploits they are doing. They hosted the male AFCON, the last female AFCON tournament they hosted. This one again, they are hosting it again. They are arguably they were the best. They were the best African team in the World Cup. They went the farthest in the competition. Last about this, and this is what we should do also back in our country. So I think Cape Verde can go back with their heads very high and improve on what has started. Ignite this fire that has been ignited. They can actually add more coals to it so that it blazes even. Because guess what? Do you know that in the next AFCON, everybody will be looking out for Cape Verde, especially the male team and even the female team, exactly because of their own
performance.
World Cup qualifiers. Everybody will be looking out. Cape Verde. Everybody wants to know what does Cape Verde have to. They've proven that they are not just the small island that we know. They have something on the table, and it's something to really work on. And I hope they are able to actually work on. That's what I was telling you. You know, you are the technical advisor to the titles. That's what I was telling you, that you should talk to your boys that business is no longer as usual, or else we may.
God forbid. God forbid. It's not under my watch. God forbid. I forbid it. We cannot go down. God forbid.
But the truth, these smaller nations are beginning to do better. Look at Malawi. See what Malawi did in this.
We just have to give them that. No, we don't want to bully them out of the competition. We just have to give them that. Just to part. Yes, we are big. Yes, they are junior sisters. We are big sisters to them. So like, it's okay. Don't worry. This is how it's been done. This is the first time you are coming. After how many years of this? After 13 editions of this competition.
They are the reason why you could not watch the last game against Egypt to the end. Because it makes sense.
All right, it's time for us to go on a short break. When we come back, of course, we'll be talking about the Mali versus Ghana game that also ended 1-1. I beg your pardon. Both teams also share points, but I think Ghana walked away then because they needed that 1 point for them to scale through. I think 1 point was enough for them to scale through to the quarterfinals. But we're going to short break. When we come back, Ibrahim Sport is still here. He's going to give us a whole lot of analysis on that. No gimmicks, no distraction, just pure unfiltered sport action.
Diogo Dalot, who pulls the momentum. That is outstanding!
Make the P&B Sports Show part of your weekday routine.
Philogene in the penalty area, twisting and turning. He tries to flick it towards goal.
Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. Make the P&B Sports Show part of your weekday routine.
Into Osimhen.
30 minutes of breaking headlines, in-depth analysis, match preview, and the stories every sport fan needs to know. And when Saturday arrives, we take things to another level. Get ready for balls of fire every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. One explosive hour of fearless opinion, heated debate, and non-stop football conversation. Weekdays at 9 a.m., Saturdays at 1 p.m. Stay ahead of the...
I'm a member of the House of Lords in the United Kingdom, a former Minister for Energy and Climate Change, and a former Minister for Development. To all the listeners of PMB Television, it is wonderful to be able to reach out to you, to all of you viewers. Please listen and learn and take away lessons that will enhance your country, but wider the globe.
Welcome back. It's PMB Sports Show live from the nation's capital. And of course, The Bracadabra of sport is right here with us. We call him that, of course, like I said earlier, because he brings magic to sport analysis, and he has been giving us those magic back to back. But the only thing I'm angry at is the way he used to backlash either Super Eagles and Super Falcons, because it's not fair. Come on, come on. We are super. Super Falcons and super. We are super of Africa. So let's just put it that way. So please stop.
They are banking on old glory. I've told you before. I rate the Super Falcons more than I rate the Super Eagles.
Mr. Josiah said, Mr. Josiah said it's super chicken. Say they are not.
Exactly, they are not other people. They are chickens.
Okay, let's go to the Ghana game. Ghana Mali also ended 1-1. I think Mali would have won that game because they actually pushed so hard, even after Ghana took the lead and Mali came from behind. But that game is somehow dicey. I think if Mali won that game, they would have gone through. But Ghana just needed a draw to see how they will seal that game. But did Ghana sit back too much, or did Mali simply outplay them in the second half? Let me get your thought on that, Eru.
I think going into the game, like you have already established, Mali needed a win to secure qualification. Ghana needed but only a draw because they were already ahead on goal difference. Don't forget that in the WAFCON, they are tiebreakers. Yeah. So the points, goal difference, and then goal scored amongst themselves. So the Cameroon was already out of the bracket. They were just struggling for who was going to finish second position. All Ghana needed was a draw. A draw would see them through to the quarterfinals. Mali needed it the more. So I would not say, I think, and then imagine a game. I want you to put this in consideration. A game where you need only a draw to qualify. You not end up being at an advantage. You not even scored first in that game. That's more like a double festival, double celebration.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yeah.
Psychologically, because I always tell you that it's psychological. At the time the game was 0-0, it was still in their favor. I need us to establish that.
Yeah.
And if it ended 0-0, that is all they need.
Yeah.
They not scored first. And you are personally, even if I am the coach, upon getting that goal, the next instruction is for them to sit back. I will not expect them to be at the forefront, risk themselves from injuries or fatigue, running. There's nothing. We are not chasing anything again. We need 1 point. At this point, we don't already do. In fact, the goalkeeper to immediately activate the delay tactics. Use 10 minutes to catch one ball. Exactly. So that was all they needed. So they are sitting back after because don't forget, they got the goal at the added time of the first half. I think 45 plus 2 or plus 3. That's when they got the goal. So when they came in for the second half, the instruction was simple. Relax. We are not dragging anything again. Worst case scenario, they will equalize. And even their equalizing still favors us.
Yeah.
Exactly. So let's just sit back. I think the only point where they would have gotten on their toes again was if maybe even after equalizing, it appeared that, Mali was pushing too much. But Mali, on the other hand, Mali needed a win. And then being behind in the first half, they already knew the implication of that. I will always tell you this, like the football will always center on who wants it more. True. Mali needed it more. So it was only fulfilling to see that in the second half, Mali came with more hunger. They were pressing. They came with so much pressure because they needed to win. True. They are playing against a team that even when the game was 1-1, Ghanaians were still the Black Queens of Ghana were still jubilating because the game was still going in their favor. So yes, in my opinion, Mali tried so much to push because they needed a better result than the Ghanaians needed. But at the end of the day, it favors the Ghanaians more, and the Ghanaians are true.
But based on last night's shaky performance, do the Black Queens look ready to beat Malawi and qualify for the World Cup ticket? Because getting to the semi-finals automatically, they've gotten that slot to the four semi-finalists already. They've qualified already for the World Cup in Brazil 2027. Then I think the other 2 slots, the remaining 4 will slug it out, maybe a playoff or something else. But looking at the shaky performance, do you think Black Queens look ready to beat Malawi. And you know Malawi with the Chiwanga sisters that have been firing goals left, right, center, especially Tabitha. Do you think the defense of the Black Queens can keep the Chiwanga sisters quiet?
I don't think so, in your opinion. I'm going to tell you the reason why I don't think so. If struggling to qualify from a group against the likes of Mali and the others is what the Black Queens of Ghana have to go through, I don't think they are ready. This is my opinion. Anybody can beg to differ. Against a debutant Cape Verde, against Mali, you are struggling for qualification. It shows a lack of, in my opinion, I would not call it a lack of preparedness, because I mean they've been preparing for this competition before now. I would rather say something is missing in the puzzle that they need to go and find. And looking at the Malawi team that I saw, that I have watched in this tournament, they are so dangerous. They look like a team that I think before they came to the tournament, I don't know whether somebody promised them a fortune somewhere, and they are moving like they are so disastrous. And Tabitha, they are something else. They are something else. So, in my own opinion, I think the Ghanaians have to sit up. They have to do better. Now that they've got into the knockout stages, they have to up their game. They have to do better, especially against Malawi, because Malawi already has caused an upset in this tournament, defeating the but I think the Black Queens have a lot of work to do if they are to go through to the semi-final against Malawi. Because if debutants can get to the quarter-final stage, they already psychologically, they already have the hopes. They already have this anxiety in them that we can also advance to the semi-finals.
And which is very good for them, because getting to the semi-finals means that they've booked their place already in the World Cup next year.
Mean to them. If that is all they can achieve from the tournament alone, they can equate themselves to the champions.
True.
So I think the Malawi team has a lot to show to the Ghanaians when they get to the quarterfinal stage. It's going to be a dance of two masquerades. And personally, I want Malawi to obviously edge Ghana. You know, I have something
is it because of the jollof rice but you want them to just go there?
You know, Ghanaians and South Africans, when it comes to the game of football, we can never be friends.
Yeah.
I can never forget that Ghana is the reason my darling Super Eagles did not go to the 2018.
It's okay. You don't need to say that. We don't. Right under our nose here. Right under our nose here in Moshood Abiola Stadium here in Abuja. Right here. Hey. It's a bitter pill that I don't want to take. I don't want to go through that route anymore. I think we have to end this show here. And that's where we draw the curtain on today's edition of PMB Sports Show. A big thank you to our guests from the ancient city of Benin, the Abracadabra of Sports, John, for sharing his insight on conclusion of the Group D and what lies ahead in the knockout stage of the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations. Thank you so much, Eru, for doing this with me again this morning. Thank you so much.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Alright, follow us across all social media platforms on YouTube and Facebook at Politics&BusinessTV.English, and on IG at PMBTV_English, and on X at PMBTV_ENG. You can also watch us on Free TV or download the Free TV app from your device Play Store for more uninterrupted access to all our programs. Coming up next is The Voices with Madina Azaki. I'm Eva Sunday. Until next time, it's bye for now.